How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today, as you can tell by the title, I am going to be covering the biggest goofy goober in every division. I got one per division. We start at flyweight, we move our way up to heavyweight, and there's some pretty stern picks in here. We start with flyweight. I'm going to go with Pantoja, the current champion of the division. This dude fights like a fucking goofball. He literally just marauds people. He runs at them with his chin in the air, just kind of, he's like a fucking rock'em, sock'em robot, just like, just throwing like stringy hooks and like missing most of them, but he just runs at people, gets in clinch positions, and goes for takedowns. And he's kind of a goofball. His style is honestly very gross to watch sometimes. Like the Royval performance shows what happens when he fights a guy with competent striking, but he can't fully grapple really well enough. So we just get a position where he's just laying on top of him. But then when you get a guy like Steve Erceg, who can strike and who does have defensive prowess on the ground at least, he kind of gets tuned up a little bit. But this guy, and that's another thing about the goofy goobers, they have chins. This dude has one of the most insane chins I've ever seen in my life. He literally eats every punch. The only guy that I've ever seen do significant damage to him was fucking Figueiredo, who is seemingly the the punch of death in the UFC right now. But Pantoja, he fights like a fucking moron, but it's effective. And that's the thing about the goofy goobers, the goofballs. Their shit works. Their shit works. And he's the champion, so I can't even hate on him. Even his grappling is goofy. Like, since the flyweights are so good at, like, scrambling and shit, well, most of them anyways, this dude just, like, they end up in funky-ass positions, and he's just like, I'm working so hard for this, brother. Oh, you see me now, Dad? You see me now? It doesn't help that he's fucking Brazilian, and whenever they go to Brazil, people just, like, don't care about him. That's what I've noticed about Brazil. They just don't really care that much about Pantoja, and I kind of feel bad for him. I kind of do, but at the same time, you robbed Steve Erceg. I'm joking, but yeah, we move. Bantamweight. I got Merab. This is a good pick on my part. I don't care what anyone... Merab is not... I know I've said I'm picking Merab, but I will be the first to tell you, I don't think Merab's a good fighter. I don't think he's a good fighter. I'll say it right now. I don't think he's that good. I think that he's just a special human being with an incredible gas tank. Because if you watch Merab, you realize really quickly he's not that good at fighting, but he fucking just overcrowds people and they can't handle it. He literally is a machine. He just runs at people and takes them down a bunch. He doesn't even take them down a bunch. His takedown entries are shit. He is shit, but he just somehow wins. He's so ugly as well. That's not even discrediting him as a fighter. He's just ugly as shit. Merab is very gross to stare at, and I don't like it at all. But man, is he an effective fighter. He just fucking just takes people down. He doesn't even take people down. He hugs them. He hugs them and he grinds on it. He's like a fucking chihuahua. He just dry humps everybody. And then he gets them tired, and then he starts to take them down. And even then he struggles. He fucking sucks on the feet. He fucking sucks on the feet. He's short, ugly, and stubby, but he just beats everybody. I don't get it. He's got a gas tank, and the thing is, he has a high possibility of beating fucking Sean O'Malley. And also, Merab got a hairline transplant. That's another thing about this goofball. He got a hairline transplant. You can still kind of see his old hairline creeping through the fucking the bangs he's got for a fucking head. And also another thing about Merab is he is very funny. And that's another reason why he's a goofy goober, he's a goofball. He is actually kind of hilarious. But yeah, he's just not that good at fighting, but it works, and his style is gross, but it is effective. We move. Featherweight. I'm going with the Eagle himself, Brian Ortega. You know, dude, sometimes you gotta break your beak. This guy, I don't understand Brian Ortega, how this guy just keeps ending up in the top 5. Especially as of recent, Brian Ortega has been really fucking goofy. Just watching the Yair Rodriguez fight dude, he's fucking slipping he rolls his ankle, first of all, in his triumphant return after like a 2-year layoff. This dude fucking rolls his ankle and he's like, ah! And then he fucking gets dropped twice in the first round. He's flabby as fuck. He doesn't even look like he's in shape. And then he just out cardios Yair Rodriguez and gets a sub. Including, I didn't even bring up the Lopez shit. The whole Diego Lopez situation is so fucking funny, man. I'm not gonna make weight. You gotta move it up a weight class. You move it up a weight class, I'm still kind of sick. Tracy, where you at, Tracy? Fumbles Tracy. The whole Diego Lopez situation was fucking wild as shit. He misses weight, makes him move up a weight class, looks flabby as fuck, and then just pulls out on fight day. After getting a paycheck, I respect it so much, honestly. And this dude is gonna be the fucking featured fight of UFC Noche. Holy shit. I gotta break my beak, you know. I gotta break my beak. He doesn't even look in shape. He shows up. Man, Brian Ortega is so fucking... And that's another thing about Brian Ortega. He also talks like he's in a movie at all times. He talks like he has a camera crew around him, and they're recording his documentary about him. You know, the Eagle's gotta break his beak, you know. I'll walk out to the Purge, you know. It's one of the hardest walkouts of all time. We move to lightweight. I'm putting Justin Gaethje on there. One of my favorite quotes is from James Vick. Rest in peace, by the way. He's not dead, but his chin is gone. He called Justin Gaethje the Homer Simpson of the UFC, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Justin Gaethje does fight like an absolute fucking troglodyte, but we all love him for it. He's the king of violence for a reason, because he is dumb. He does rolling thunder kicks. He just puts his body on the line at all times. He is a fucking moron, but goddamn is he so entertaining to watch. And his knockouts are also very egregious. They're very disgusting. And when he loses by finish. He also gets kind of fucked up in every fight, but he also fucks people up whenever they fight. That the UFC 300 highlight is going to be everywhere for the rest of time. So we're going to see Justin Gaethje just keep losing brain cells. The give me my money trend took another one in Justin Gaethje. He also does kind of look special as well. That is something I will bring up about Justin Gaethje. He does kind of look stupid. But I think that plays into his character. I think that does. We move to welterweight. I have Michael Venom Page. Sorry, I got them mixed up. They fight the exact same way. And that's the reason why I have Michael Venom Page at welterweight's biggest goofy goober. This dude's fighting style is fucking so funny to watch. He's doing jumping jacks in the cage. He's just fucking lunging in and out of range, just, huh! And he sucks on the ground. He looks like a fish out of water every time. He looks like a fucking Magikarp. He doesn't know what he's doing in a clinch position. He literally sold the fight against Ian Gary. I'm so happy he doesn't have an IQ, because, God, he could have beat Ian Gary so easily if he just knew how to get someone off his back, or he just stayed on top of him and didn't try and go for like a leg lock or whatever he tried. Or it was Ian Gary that went for a leg lock, but I forget what happened. Michael allowed him to get to his back. It was so stupid. But Michael Venom Page, he fights dude, he's doing fucking starfish jumps in the ring, and people are like, this dude's the best striker I've ever seen in my life, dude. He's the best striker of all time. But it's effective, and that's another thing about these goofy goobers. They work. They have crazy work ethic, and Michael Venom Page, he's definitely somebody. We move to middleweight. This one was very easy to pick. I got Dricus du Plessis. The only reasons I made this video was Dricus du Plessis. The biggest goofball in the UFC. There's not a lot of people that can hold a candle to, Dricus du Plessis, but this dude is a fucking goofball. And his fighting style doesn't make sense. He leaves his chin in the air at all times. He's durable as shit. He literally eats so many punches per fight. He's like a fucking rhinoceros come to life as a fighter. He literally bulldozes people, takes them down, eats a bunch of shots. But man, he outwills everybody. He looks like shit every time. That's not a fair criticism. He honestly looked pretty decent against Israel in moments, especially with his head kicks, his lead leg. He has moments of spurts where you're like, holy shit, this guy's actually fucking amazing. But then for like a majority of the fight, you'll be like, oh, how is he the champion? And then you'll see him literally just do like a 5-punch combination with his chin in the air, just sprinting at somebody, and you're like, what is happening? And then he ends up on their back, and you're like, what is going? And then he taps Israel out of sound, and you're like, what is happening? What is going on? But Dreykus, I love him to death. He is also zesty. And honestly, his trash talk is cool. He's made 2 people cry, which is a pretty goofy thing to do. Also, the whole Africa thing, he's just, I never said that. I never said that. You'll never find a video of me saying that. I never said that. I never said the word like that. It's very funny. We move to light heavyweight. I wanted to go with Johnny Walker, but then I remembered there's a certain Chechnyan man named Yuri Prohaska at light heavyweight, and it made me remember, this guy is a fucking dickhead. This dude fights like he doesn't have a brain. Yuri Prohaska is severely dumb, but man, is he entertaining to watch. He literally leaves his chin in the air at all times. He has his hands by his waist. He throws karate-style punches that you learn the, huh, turn it over, huh, turn it over, huh. He's got the craziest finishes ever. He literally flatlined Volkan Oezdemir. He had the spinning elbow over fucking Dominic Reyes. He had a absolute bonehead fight with Glover Teixeira. Let's not forget that fight ever happened, dude. That fight is so fucking good. But God, was it just like, what is happening? He subbed Glover. His 2 fights with Alex Pereira were both goofy as shit. The way he gets knocked out and knocked down is hilarious. His chin is kind of suspect. The Rakic fight literally made 0 sense. He took so much damage, but he just was like, I eat those. The great storm is coming to these guys. I will beat Alex Pereira. I will do this. And then he just gets TKO'd, and then he looks like a fucking, the hair also. Oh, the hair. I never hit the hair. He looks like he literally is a samurai. But he's dumb. But we love Yuri Prohaska because he is stupid. We love him for it. We move to heavyweight. I'm going to go with Derek Lewis. Just very fun style. He throws jumping switch kicks at times. He does kind of fight like a lard ass. He's always sandbagging everybody that he fights. He's like, I'm not fucking, you don't know what I'm doing, dude. I'm not tired, I swear. And then you punch him in the gut, he's like, I don't like this at all. Derek Lewis, he takes his pants off after every win. He literally gets fined because he shows bare ass to people. He gets flying knee TKOs. Somehow this fat fuck can get that high. Derek Lewis, also every fight, let's not forget, like, Derek Lewis literally every outing is like, oh my god, he's in insane shape. He's actually going for runs and shit. And then he shows up looking literally the exact fucking same. His most recent fights are funny as fuck. The Jailton Almeida fight was goofy as shit. He's also just in his career, at this point in his career where he just is fighting people that you're like, those people exist? Like, Jonathan Deniz is fighting Derek Lewis at Edmonton. And that's another thing about Derek Lewis, he still gets main events. This guy is getting main events. He's not the main event, but he is still getting, like, fight night main events on, like, 3-fight losing streaks. And people are like, that makes sense. Derek Lewis, super funny. He's funny as fuck as well. He is goofy. He is entertaining to watch. But, man, he is fat. And he does take his pants off. And his style is he kind of allows himself to lose sometimes. Like, in the Rodrigo Nascimento fight, he legit just, like, allowed himself to get into grappling positions and almost lost himself the fight. But we love Derek Lewis for that. But, yeah, that's the video. The biggest goofy goobers in the UFC. Who's the biggest goofy goober in your opinion? Who would you guys put for every weight class? Because there are some other candidates, especially at, like, light heavyweight and heavyweight and middleweight as well. Like, Michelle Pahea is pretty fucking goofy as well. But, yeah, this is the Sunday upload. I decided to get something up for you guys. I have another video that I was gonna record, but I kind of just like gave up mid-recording because I was like, this video sucks. I might get that out to you guys, yeah, like tomorrow or Tuesday. But yeah, of course, it's UFC Vegas 97 Fight Week. So of course, picks and breakdown coming out most likely Tuesday, not Tuesday, Thursday or early Friday. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.